I think I'm gonna try to start doing more of these iPhone style, like vlogging behind the scenes type videos. Just when I shoot on my Komodo or my R8, I feel like I have to break out lights and I have to break out mics and just the whole process of setting up stuff like that to make a video. It just can be tedious and it's a longer process, and I feel like I can't get as much stuff out on YouTube. So I'm not gonna do this for every video, but it might become something that's more like half and half. My son is now crying in the other room. 1 second. There's something about just being able to whip out your iPhone and shoot something really quickly. With my other cameras, I just feel like there's a pressure to have a higher level of production value. And when I'm shooting with my phone, that pressure isn't there. So I don't mind just filming kind of whatever. I don't feel like I have to necessarily work on the composition or have the lighting be perfect or anything like that. So just to get more valuable information out, I think I'm going to start using my iPhone more. With that being said, I'm working on a small project with my director buddy Don. I shot Last Option for him back in April of 2023. And we're working on this small, I guess it's like a commercial for Atlanta, but it's a part of a film festival competition kind of thing. And we're in pre-production right now, and one of the things that I'm testing is a car mount, because we want to be able to drive down the streets of Atlanta and capture some moving shots of the large skyscrapers and famous buildings down there. So let me show you guys this. This is the Delkin Fat Gecko, and it's a car mount, and the weight capacity is, I think, 12 pounds, so it's perfect for the Komodo, especially when it's stripped down like this. I just have one battery and a lens on it, but it has 3 points of contact. There's one right there, and it is very sturdy. It's been on the fridge for about an hour now, and I'm just testing it out to see how long the suction lasts. I mean, I can open the fridge with it, no problem, and it's on there. So now that I've tested it on the fridge, this is the only non-porous surface I have in my house. It can only be used on non-porous surfaces. If I were to put it on my wall or something, it would just fall off. But now that I've tested it, I'm gonna put it on my truck in a little bit and do some test driving. While I was showing you guys the car mount on the fridge, I had these crates arrive. I got these to help me organize my gear. I'm gonna use one for camera stuff and then one for more like grip and lighting accessories. It's pretty cool though. You can customize what you get with them. This lid, and then these dividers are pretty difficult to pop out with one hand. You get the idea. They pop out and you can space them out and just make sure you have enough room for what you're trying to put in there. Right now I have all this Komodo stuff stripped down because I just put it on the car mount, but these will be great for just organizing stuff like this. I'll probably end up getting 2 more as I organize my stuff. Another thing I'm really excited to use on a project is the Amaran F22c. I got it about a week ago and I've yet to use it on anything, but when I was doing research, the light mat just seemed like one of the most flexible pieces of kit I could get. I've never used one before, but I don't know, it looks pretty awesome. I got the lantern attachment for it as well, so I can use it as a key light when I boom it out overhead, and also dim it down a lot and use it as like some sort of room tone. I'm gonna use this as well as the car mount on that spec project we're doing this weekend. So I'll show some more behind the scenes of that once we're actually filming.
Our name was already in there because of Maddie, who was already in it. So which is cool. And then we like.
I'm sitting here in my truck about 3 days after that shoot we did in Atlanta. And there's just a couple of things I wanted to talk about with that. One, I got to use the F22c on the project and love the experience. It's super lightweight to bring around, easy to set up, and it's small. It's not like throwing a softbox on a 300D. Just takes up way less space. And then it's also bicolor, which I don't have a bicolor light apart from my Pavo tubes. So that was really nice. I was able to get some color contrast with that. Had the F22c around like 3200 Kelvin, and then I used a little bit of an edge light and left it at 56, and then just set the white balance around 43. So I was able to get some really nice color separation with that. And then we actually ran out of time on the shoot, so I wasn't able to use the car mount. But I'm going to go ahead and just edit the project and then figure out what shots we need from there, and then drive back into Atlanta the following week and get some pickups with the car mount. I started to organize this thing, and I think one of the things I realized is eventually I'm going to need to get another one for batteries, but for now I have it kind of organized, however it fits best. But I needed to grab the car mount and my screwdriver out of here. One of the things I'm really interested to see is how much shake there is, because there's no like absorption system. It's just mounted on there and it's solid, so I don't know if it's going to get some vibrations or not, but that's what testing stuff is for. So here we have it on the truck, and give it a little test, make sure it's on there good. See, one of the things you can see, I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but it has a little bit of wiggle. So as I go over bumps and stuff, I'll be interested to see if that kind of registers in the footage. The camera is on. I have the red control app going so I can hit record from inside the truck. And I have it facing up at the sky because there are a lot of trees on my road. So I'm gonna try to capture the branches going by. All right, it worked. It did not fall off my truck, which is good because that would be a very expensive mistake. So it's, I don't know if I can turn my camera around. Nope, I can't do that. Okay. I thought you could. I don't know why the button's not there. I'm gonna lower, or I'm gonna tilt down a little bit on the mount and try to capture something a little different on my way back up. So you'll be able to see all the actual footage I captured. I could tell it was a little bit shaky, but with how fast you're moving, I don't know how much that will actually show up in the footage. It's funny because the Komodo was actually designed for this kind of stuff. Putting it on cars, putting it in places that are difficult to get larger rigs. It was designed as a crash cam. And never once have I used it as that. So actually putting it on a car mount now is pretty cool. But it's a perfect camera for just the modularity of it. The cube form factor is great. And you can rig it up as large as you need it to be, and then I mean, it right here on this car mount it's stripped down and it's really small, especially with the photo lens I have on it. I had some time to go back and look at the footage, and it was a little more shaky than I wanted it to be. But I think for how we're going to use it with this project specifically, it'll be fine because it's just like half second, 1 second clips that are going to be all compiled together in like a montage sequence. So I don't even know if it'll be long enough for you to realize that there's shake, but I'm also going to try some different ways of mounting it. My truck's over there right now, that's why I'm looking that way, but on the hood where I had it, it's right above the engine, so I don't know if that adds a little bit more shake. I also have off-roading tires, so that's just not as smooth of a ride, so I might need to try it on someone else's vehicle. And then I also didn't realize this when I was filming, but I was shooting slow-mo earlier in the day, and so I had my Komodo still on the crop mode. So a lot more cropped in than if I were to have it just on the full, like, 16 by 9, 6K mode. And the wider the lens, the more it helps minimize some of those shakes and movements. So I'm going to try all those things in the future the next time I test it out. I just want to leave you guys with one final thought. As I was reflecting on this spec project that we just shot, I was reminded of this article I wrote on my Substack about a year ago. And I called it Less is More. And the idea was just that oftentimes less gear, less people can be very beneficial to actually executing our creative ideas. When I was first getting started with filmmaking, I so often fell into the trap of thinking I needed a certain amount of gear or a certain piece of film equipment or a certain size crew before I would make something. And now I'm at a place where I'd rather go out with a camera and a lens and make something by myself than not make anything at all. And just our approach to this spec project over the weekend was really that. We had a camera, a single lens, a lav mic that we hooked up to our talent, and then 2 lights, the F22c and the Amaran F22c. And we didn't even need those lights to make the project happen. But one of the things that happened while we were filming is we were outside this building, and there was a barber shop across the street. And the guy saw us and yelled at us. He was like, "Hey, come film in our barber shop." And we did. We responded to his request and went in there, and it ended up being really awesome. We were in there for about 15 minutes. Got some really cool audio from him, and it's honestly something where the footage was good enough and what he was saying was good enough that I might even turn it into its own separate project from what we shot. Just create like a little 30-second to a minute like mini documentary on this barbershop. But why I mention that is if we had all this gear and had the camera rigged up with all this crazy stuff, all these lights that we had to carry with us, we wouldn't be able to respond to things like that. I'm not saying having all the lights and all the rigging equipment is a bad thing, but you just got to know the project that you're working on and pick the gear that best fits the needs for that project. And don't let a lack of gear stop you from creating something. So that's it for this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.